Welcome back to the Scramble Drill podcast. Week 2 of the divisions breakdown. We were talking about this right before we started recording. You and I both agree that we usually like to eat the least favorable part of our dinner first. You agree? Like, I'm going to eat the vegetables first. I'm going to save my chicken fingers for later. We had a little bit of a dessert last week when we talked about the NFC West and the AFC West. But, Landon, what is it this week? Are we eating vegetables this week?
We're eating Brussels sprouts this week. We're going to talk NFC and AFC South. The AFC South was pretty fun last year. NFC South, I'm kind of dreading, but I did just learn that you're 8 years old eating chicken fingers for supper still.
No, I'm not. Fingers? I didn't say still. Look, we're adults, okay? I actually do like vegetables these days, but it's the analogy for a child.
Okay, I understand. I'm
an adult, Landon. I'll actually force myself to eat salads. 10-year-old me would be upset with me right now.
Yeah, I'm not a salad guy. But, yeah, we're going to talk NFC, AFC South. Like I said, AFC South actually wound up being pretty good last year. We didn't think so coming in.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
But the NFC South is it's something.
It's something.
It's something. So
it's something.
I'm into it.
And we need to go ahead.
No, I'm into it. No, we're good.
No, I was gonna say we need to address one thing that we did horribly wrong last week.
Yeah.
And talking about, the big off seasons for each team and kind of just talking and discussing each team, and we got to the Chargers, and rightfully so. We talked about Herbert, Harbaugh, and the massive addition of Mike McDaniel and all that stuff. We missed something. We missed that they lost an entire defensive coordinator who took a head coaching job for the Ravens. So
a great defensive coordinator who a lot of people wanted, right? I was caught up in like McDaniel. We were talking Herbert. I was like this and that. And then I listened to the episode back. I was like, hold on. Did we not mention Jesse Minter going to the Ravens? That's kind of a miss on our part. Oops. So that's a big deal. That is going to hurt them. And we'll see how much that hurts them. We'll see how much Harbaugh, can keep things going and keep things straight or whatever. But I wanted to get that out there just in case people were listening last week and were like, did these guys miss that?
We apologize for that.
That was a miss. Anyway.
We will try not to let that happen again. But again, as we've said many times, we fly by the seat of our pants. We're very from the hip. So in a not incredibly scripted show, slip-ups are going to happen. So it is what it is. So let's go, I guess we'll do AFC South. Well, AFC South is not awful. We'll start out with not a great team, but there's actually a lot of talk about with the Tennessee Titans. They had a big offseason. I don't think they brought in, massive name players, but, man, they got the coach, and they got a couple coaches that I think people are really excited about. I'm kind of excited about, really. Yeah. So they bring in from the 49ers, Robert Saleh, and then Darren Dable as offensive coordinator. And a lot of people were thinking Dable was going to get a head coaching job. So to be able to get him with the young quarterback, Cam Ward, that's a big move, and I think it's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing on the coaching front is I really feel like Saleh, it seemed to me like he was going to be able to pick from a lot of jobs. Like a lot of people wanted Robert Saleh, I felt like. He did not have a great tenure with the Jets. I get it. But look what happens to them when they leave. They are instantly beyond unwatchable, right? I mean, and so I don't think anyone's really blaming Robert Saleh. I honestly think a little bit of what Sam Darnold did this year is like, okay, let's give Saleh another chance, right? And even to a smaller extent, what Aaron Rodgers did. Like, Aaron Rodgers looked like serviceable. They made the playoffs last year in Pittsburgh. He was serviceable for large parts of the year, and you saw what he was at the end with the Jets. So, I mean, I was surprised he chose the Titans. He saw something there he loves, and I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's bad of a spot, really.
Yeah, I mean, the division is not there's good rosters in the AFC South. We'll talk through it, but like rosters don't sustain you, right? It's head coach and quarterback that is what sustains you. And I think he may have looked around and is like, I'm not 100% sure any of these head coach quarterback combinations are like elite. So maybe he saw something in Cam. Maybe, I don't know,
Yeah,
but
we will talk about that shortly.
maybe he just really likes Nashville, which I get. But I mean, he chose them. Like he would have had other options, maybe this year, definitely next year if he would have waited another year. And he jumped on this. So there's something he likes a lot, and that always makes my eyes light up.
Yeah, I think it's a good combo because he's a good defensive mind, and I think going back to the Jets part, I'm getting to the point where I'm really not holding how you did with the Jets against anybody for the same reasons.
You can't. You just can't.
I'm sorry he couldn't turn around a literal dumpster fire in 2 years. So that's not Robert Saleh's fault. So he's got a quarterback. He's got a quarterback that I think showed a lot of flashes last year. I know he wasn't incredible by any means, but he's got all the physical tools. And he was not the reason the Titans were bad last year. So I think
they were.
He saw something there. He's like, if I can. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's another part of this is like it was a clown show at coaching last year. I mean, it was honestly ridiculous how bad they were. Obviously, Callahan gets fired, and it was just not great all the way around. So this is a real NFL coach. So you bring him in, he's gonna culture, defense, and at least Cam Ward has stability in that. And obviously Daboll comes in, and he's a mind a lot of people like. I was shocked he didn't get the Buffalo job. I thought for sure Daboll, being a Buffalo guy, being from there, I thought for sure he was getting that. And I guess he just thought, hey, man, let's go to Tennessee, rework Cam Ward, maybe have another chance next year at a head coaching job. But I really like that.
I think he would have taken the Buffalo job, but I think Buffalo was locked in pretty early to bringing back their OC as the head coach. So I think that he interviewed for it, but I don't think Buffalo was ever into it. I think Joe Brady was their guy right away.
Right. And so the Daboll move for Cam, like it's really not a move I love for his long-term development. It is not a move I love for 2027 because obviously I think Daboll's going to get a head coaching job after this year if he has any success, right? So I don't love that. But for this year,
I mean, if he flips,
this is really good
look at
for
what he
Cam
did with
Ward.
Josh Allen. So he's like, if he happens again, for sure.
Right. And I mean, it's not the same situation. It is a similar situation. I don't think Cam Ward is as talented as Drake May. But I mean, you look, Drake May, rookie year, whatever, brings in a defensive-minded culture coach, and you see what happens to the team. Could Saleh do a similar thing to Cam Ward to a lesser extent? I'm not saying they're going to Super Bowl or anything like that, but could he do a lesser extent? And, could Cam Ward play really well, win 9 games? Maybe. Like that's definitely on the board for this team.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the rest of the teams in a minute, but I don't think this division is. It's not like the NFC West to where you could have a good year and still finish 3rd or 4th. Like, there's good teams in this division, don't get me wrong, but it's not a superpower like you've got the Rams or the Chiefs or something in your division. Like, it's a semi-winnable division. I agree. I don't think the Titans make the playoffs or anything like that. I think they could have success this year and improve. But it's not outlandish to see them make a significant jump from last year with the right coach and quarterback combo.
Yeah, and also another thing, just roster-wise, I mean, you look up and down this roster, they signed so many guys, and they found themselves basically in the same situation that the Raiders found themselves in, the same situation Washington found themselves in, where they just didn't have enough good players. They didn't have NFL starters. So you look and they didn't give out huge contracts. I mean, John Franklin Myers got 3 for $63. They acquired a few guys in trades. Cordell Flott, they gave 3 for $45. Alontae
Wandale
Taylor
Robinson got a big contract too.
Oh, yeah, he got 38 guaranteed. Yeah, coming over with Dayball, obviously Giants guy. Alontae Taylor, like they signed just starters because they had to fill out the roster, and so I actually like that play because what they had to work with was cap space, so that's what they used to build the roster. So, we'll see. I think Salah's they're going to turn it around to an extent. I don't know how much, but I don't expect this to look like last year's Tennessee Titans.
No, and I wish I had it in front of me. Which pick do they have here in a couple weeks?
They got 4, and
second pick? 4.
4.
Okay.
Everybody is saying Jeremiah Love. I mean, that's like almost a certainty at this point, and I think that'd be great. Now, look, they could use help everywhere, right? But it might be one of those situations where their roster is so just meh that they're probably just thinking, whoever the best player on the board is, that's who we're taking. We just got to have a sure thing. And apparently he's the most sure thing there is. So that seems likely that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, you could. I mean, this will be a draft talk later, but you could argue that Jeremiah Love is the best player in this draft, really.
A lot of people say that. Truly, a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
The most surefire
he's
thing, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and running back is, we always talk about it as a position that you can fill a lot easier. So I guess surefire is, I guess I don't know what I'm looking to say, but it's easy to fill a running back, but when you've got a guy this talented, just take him.
Yeah.
Just take him.
He's just the highest floor player in the, like it seems there's very little chance he doesn't work out. Kind of like Ashton Genty last year. It felt like last year was Genty's floor, and he was like pretty good, right? He was a little disappointing for what we thought he could be, but he was still good, right? And so I think that's kind of a similar thing with Love, and who knows? Maybe Dayball works some magic and they take him, and this guy's a stud. But I'm a little intrigued to see what they do it for, but I do think it will be Love.
Yeah. They didn't have, I guess, massive losses from the roster either. The roster wasn't great.
No, nobody wanted any of these guys.
The turnover they had really is not that disappointing.
No.
That puts us Colts after the Titans.
Yep.
The team that was supposed to run away with the division, and then Daniel Jones gets hurt.
Weren't they 8-1?
They have 8-1 or 7-2. I think they were 7-2.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Were they? I can't remember exactly. They were doing well. They were doing very, very well.
Oh, yeah.
And it fell completely apart. So, what do the Colts do? Well, they're re-signing Daniel Jones after an Achilles injury, not an ACL, an Achilles. Did they lose? I don't think they lost anything on the coaching staff, did they? They're kind of keeping it the same.
No, not coaching staff wise, they didn't. Or at least I don't think head coach OCDC. Maybe some others, but I don't think anybody was lost there. But I was surprised.
Like
oh yeah, we still like Steichen. I was surprised with some of their off-season moves.
Yeah.
So Daniel Jones, what's the deal? Is he playing? He tore his Achilles, right? Like he's not going to be playing, is he?
I think he's guaranteed $50 million this year.
Wow.
It's an $88 million deal for 2 years.
So do they think like he's going to be back early? I mean, he tore his Achilles.
So. He tore his Achilles in like week 9. That's not early in the season, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they still got Anthony Richardson. If you followed that story at all, apparently they gave him permission to seek a trade, and no one wants him.
Crickets since then.
For anything.
Yeah, I mean, so
I also was surprised by the monster contract they gave to Alec Pierce, too. I didn't see that coming. I thought Pierce was going somewhere else.
Yeah, so that's the other part of it. So the Daniel Jones thing, like, he was good last year. He played well enough to get extended. With the injury, I am a little surprised at the number, $50 million guaranteed, but like, they could do worse. It wasn't a great offseason for quarterbacks, right? Like nobody was really available other than maybe Kyler that they may have wanted. So I'm fine with it. It's just how healthy is he going to be? And then the Alec Pierce thing, I could be wrong. I have viewed this the last few years as Michael Pittman being better than Alec Pierce, but they chose Pierce. Am I wrong there? Is Pierce just better than Michael Pittman?
For the past few years, Pittman's been better. Pierce is a better deep threat. I mean, there's no question on anybody's mind there. I've always been a Pittman guy. Like, I've always thought Pittman was a really good receiver.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the youth. I mean, Pierce was extremely good this year. I mean, he averaged he had 1,000 yards. He's going to have to step up his game because he averaged over 20 yards a catch, which is just not sustainable. And then they get rid of Pittman, so he's going to have to genuinely be a number one receiver.
Yeah, they gave Pittman away for nothing. What was the trade?
It's like a 6th-round pick for Pittman to the Steelers.
See, I really don't understand that because I thought they were pretty close. I would have taken Pittman because he was a little bit more of a do everything type of guy than Pierce. But I mean, they went out there early. It was like the first thing that happened in free agency was 4 years, 114.60 guaranteed. And I don't know. Maybe that's the right move. Maybe he is that guy.
I was surprised too because I thought there are teams with money that need receivers, i.e. Patriots or something like that. I'm like, Pierce is for sure going somewhere like that. And I guess he likes Indy staying, but
well, they made him a priority, and so that's who they're rolling with. It's going to be, it's him, it's Josh Downs, and I mean, who else?
Warren.
I mean, obviously, yeah, Tyler Warren, but receiver wise, they bring in. Oh my gosh, they brought in our guy. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I was going to say it if you didn't.
Oh,
do you remember this guy's still in the league? You still playing of the offseason, if you remember that.
They brought in Laquan Treadwell, who Ben and I have some history with when we were Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen owners when they were in Minnesota. And
you don't know
Laquan
this as
Treadwell
an audience, but
would steal catches, and we hated Laquan Treadwell. So they brought in our guy, Laquan Treadwell. I don't see that as a difference maker. Maybe no, he re-signed. He was already there. So, but anyways,
he was already there.
Yeah, he can sneak by you. But yeah, I mean, it really just depends on Daniel Jones' health. I just don't have a lot of confidence in a guy who was playing really well, but we had kind of given up on coming off an Achilles. Now, Sam Darnold is the face of you gave up on me and screw you because I'm actually good. Maybe that is Daniel Jones. It certainly looked like it at times last year. But is he going to be healthy enough? I don't know. I doubt it.
I will be surprised if he's healthy enough. And maybe, I mean, if there's a team that can ease a quarterback in, I would say it's the Colts because they still have that offensive line in Jonathan Taylor. So you got something you can lean on very heavily in the early parts of the season and have success doing it. So you don't necessarily need Daniel Jones to be Superman early, but
yeah,
it's a lot you're gambling on an Achilles. Let's say that. I mean, we remember what Kirk Cousins looked like after his Achilles for the Falcons. I mean, it just fell apart. And I don't even know if it was Kirk's Achilles necessarily, but it's hard to bet on guys coming off those, man. It's just hard.
Yeah. We'll see.
Anything else on the Colts?
No.
That puts us at Jags. Is that right?
Yep.
Or
no, Texans.
Jags.
Texans.
Yep. I don't know why I couldn't remember which one of them got it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This is probably where we're gonna land on talking about coach quarterback. But let's save the quarterback conversation for a little bit later in this segment. Let's see. The Texans did a fair amount in free agency.
They re-signed a lot of guys.
The biggest one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Danielle Hunter got a monster extension. Only 1 year, but a lot of money.
They keep
Lot
Trent
of
Brown
money.
around. Like they kept a lot of guys around, which is good because I mean they had
Their
obviously a
defense
super
is-
talented defense.
Yeah, their defense is staying together for the most part, which, I mean, obviously you can't really complain about that because their defense was spectacular last year.
Right.
They, ideally for my fantasy teams, find them a running back in David Montgomery.
Yeah, that was an
Hopefully they
interesting
can land on
move.
him.
That was an interesting move. They lost
I was kind of
all their
surprised.
running backs. Like,
And I was kind of surprised they traded an offensive lineman too, but well, whatever.
oh yeah, that's the Texans have a terrible offensive line and trade all your offensive line at the same time. That's just what they do. But they lost 3 running backs. Nick Chubb, they cut Joe Mixon, which that situation is crazy. That injury, I mean, I remember like in the preseason last year, it was like Joe Mixon might miss the start of the season. And then it was like Joe Mixon is going to miss a few weeks, and then he just never played. So that was weird. And they bring in Montgomery. I mean, I kind of like it. It's an interesting move. What's the rookie that they have there that they liked? What's his name?
Oh gosh, you say that, and I know it, from an inside joke from one of our fantasy leagues.
Right. I can't even remember the guy's name right now, but like he's
Dang it,
he's just one of those. He's Woody Marks.
Woody Marks. That's
Yeah, Woody Marks. Yeah. No, he's fine. And then, if you have David Montgomery and him, you're in a pretty good spot there. So, look, we know what the deal is. There's 2 questions about this team. One is, it's very rare that an elite defense repeats that the next year. It's just things go weird. Turnover luck is different. Like it's just hard to repeat an insane level defense. We'll see if they're able to do that. But we know what the question is with the Texans.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's CJ Stroud.
Landon, how often do you see in the NFL a quarterback picked number 2 overall, and after 3 seasons, he has 3 playoff wins?
Yeah.
And they have not picked up his 5th-year option. Bryce Young
That's the
is getting
craziest
his
thing
5th-year option picked up.
Dude, that's the craziest thing ever. So I assume they're going to pick it up. But we talked all last year. Like, we were like, if he can be the 15th best quarterback in the NFL in the playoffs, they got a chance to make a run. And if he can be the 8th best quarterback in the NFL, they got a chance to win the Super Bowl. That was the conversation all last year. They make the playoffs. They beat Pittsburgh, and the defense scores touchdowns and all that. And then we saw that Patriots game, and he was the 48th best quarterback in the NFL in that game. And so, like,
yeah, I mean, I don't think either one of us is going to sit here and say Bo Nix is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But Bo Nix did exactly what CJ Stroud needs to do.
Right.
Just be
exactly right.
Just be fine. He just can do what Bo Nix can do.
Absolutely right. And so he didn't do it. And the conversation was like going into those playoffs, it was, hey, if CJ has a good playoff run here, like he might get a big extension. You know, the type of guys where they're elite, the type of if you know guys, the Burrows, the Allens, the Mahomes, they get extended after year 3. Like that's what happens. And we were like, maybe Stroud can be that guy if he has a good playoff run. He was so bad. They haven't picked up the 5th-year option. Now, they have until May 1st. They're probably going to. I would assume they do. But the fact that it's not even a slam dunk that happens is unbelievable based on what this roster was last year. Unbelievable.
I don't even know what to add to that. I mean, this is
We were talking
really
before
in
the
uncharted
pod.
territory as a fan base. It's just not.
We were
a thing
talking
that
before the pod. We were like, I was like, I have not heard anything about Stroud's 5th-year option. What do they do? And we looked it up, and I was like, oh my goodness, they haven't said they're going to pick it up. Like the Panthers are picking it up with Bryce. Like the Panthers came out early.
Bryce
and
been
like,
to playoff
yes.
one time.
Yeah, they were like, we're picking that up, and we have seen Bryce look awful.
Bryce has been benched
for Andy Dalton
more than once.
Yeah. Right. And Stroud, after his rookie year, we were like, oh my gosh, is he in the Is he in the Burrow tier? It's like, what? And now we're talking about him like, is he going to be the quarterback of this team in 2 years? So this is a massive year. I mean, Ben, this is what, towards the end of Sam Darnold's tenure with the Vikings 2 years ago, the conversation we were having was, these are like, once it got close to playoff time, clinching playoff spot time, we were like, these are $100 million games he's having. This is a $200 million season for CJ Stroud. I mean, you're looking at the difference in a top of the market deal, which is possible. If he goes out there, plays great, they make the AFC Championship game, he's going to get 5 years, $250. And if they go out there and they have a great defense again, and they kind of don't do anything with it, Stroud struggles the whole time, you're looking at like, maybe he's not their quarterback in 2 years. So this is I think CJ Stroud this season is like the biggest money on the line season for any player in the NFL in terms of actual dollars in his pocket. He's got to show something. He just has to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. You can't. We've seen it time and time again. You cannot pay the mediocre quarterback top of the line money and expect to be a serviceable team while he's there. It's just not possible. So,
and this is far and away, like, they can't, once you pay him, you can't just re-up Danielle Hunter for $30 million guaranteed anymore. You can't just sign these free agents anymore if you re-up him. He's got to be a guy. Ask the Dolphins. Ask the Eagles a few years ago with Carson Wentz. Ask any of these teams that have extended guys a year too early. Ask the Cardinals. Like, you can't extend these guys until you know. You can't pay them top of the line until you know. And they clearly don't know. And so I like what they've done. I would pick up his fifth-year option if I was them. But I don't mind them sitting here and waiting on this and being like, sending a message to CJ like, you're not guaranteed to be in our plans if you don't show us you're that guy who we saw your rookie year. I'll remind people.
No, this has got to happen this season, brother.
Oh, yeah. I'll remind people. In that playoff game against the Patriots, how bad it was. I text the group chat, and I said I would bench him at halftime. I said, if he turns it over again, I'm benching him. He threw another pick, and I was like, I'm benching him. And I was watching the game with my brother, and he was like, yeah, but they still have a chance to win. Can you really bench him? And I said, that's why I'm benching him. Because they still have a chance to win. I can't watch him throw the ball to the other team this much. So I got worked up there. Wow. I did not think that was going to happen.
Well, I get it because, our entire group chat has been on the same page. We're like, how can you, like, I remember, I think that playoff game was the game where I thought that the Patriots were not, like, I knew the Patriots weren't going to win the Super Bowl after that game. I'm like, because Drake May looked awful in that game. Like, the Patriots,
oh yeah, he fumbled like 4 times, lost 2 of them. Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't think the Patriots are as good as advertised. But it didn't matter because, like, I was watching and I'm like, there's just no chance. There's no chance CJ Stroud beats them. It's not possible.
Right.
We watched, like, the entire time. You knew it can't happen.
So, CJ, this is on you, man. I mean, whatever happens to the Texans is on him. I have no tie to the Texans. I don't know why I got so fiery right there. I just did. But whatever.
I like the passion.
I don't know. I
have nothing against
no tie
CJ
to the
Stroud.
Texans. Yeah.
I have nothing against CJ Stroud. I want to see him do well.
Yeah.
I like CJ Stroud. I want to like CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
But he's got a long way to go.
Yep.
All right. Last one in the AFC South before we plug our nose and go to the NFC South. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
They were good this year, man. They were good.
They were very good. I think people are going to forget
I think there was a point
just
in the
how
season,
good they were. Like,
I was going to say, there was a point in the season towards the end, and maybe right before the playoffs, where we were talking them like, is this team the best, like the most complete team in the AFC?
Absolutely. Like look, Josh had a terrific game, beat him out of the playoffs, whatever. But there was a time where we were like, the Jags look kind of unstoppable. Remember what they did to Denver in like week 14 or whatever? When they just went out there
smoked
and
them.
trounced Denver in Denver. And I feel like we've said this for the last 3 teams, but like the biggest thing for the Jags is, can Cohen and Trevor Lawrence build on what momentum was started last year? Cohen seems to be a guy who is kind of a quarterback whisperer. And if I'm a Jags fan, I feel pretty good about that combo going into this year.
Yeah, I do too. They had the opposite of CJ Stroud season where, I mean, man, if you remember back to week 2 when they were playing the Bengals and you had that clip of Cohen yelling at Trevor Lawrence and Trevor kind of waving him off.
Yeah, right.
And the first half of the season just did not look great for Trevor. I'm like, dude, this could be it. Like it's over for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville maybe. And in the second half of the season and really towards the end, something clicked.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but something clicked, and Trevor Lawrence actually looked like an MVP candidate at the end of the season. Like, he didn't have the stats or the numbers to put him in that conversation, but he was playing like one, if that makes sense.
I think he got votes.
Actually finished
I think he was like a top 5 MVP finisher. Yeah.
Did he really?
So, I think he did. I think he got votes.
So bad, like he couldn't pull it up. Okay.
No, I think he got votes.
But I mean,
so
I get it. I know they ended. Well, they didn't win a playoff game, but I mean, can you really blame a team for, like, we ran up against Josh Allen in the playoffs? Like, it happens, man. They're good. So, and you didn't get blown out either. So they finished exactly how I want to finish the season. All the momentum was behind the Jaguars.
Yeah, and I think they got to feel good going into this year. I do think there's some interesting conversations around this team. And probably the biggest of which is just completely wide receiver and cornerback related all in one. What do they do with Travis Hunter? Seriously.
I have heard in the offseason they are looking at moving him to corner. Like, maybe not full time, but like mainly a corner.
So I think it's clear in the NFL today how valuable receivers are. Like, for a while, it didn't seem that way, but the last really 4 or 5 years, like, it's wide receivers are solidifying themselves, and you're seeing that in how they're getting paid. But that being said, it is way easier. It's extremely difficult to find an A+ wide receiver, but it's pretty easy to find a B or B+. It is hard to find a B+ or above corner. It just is. And I think if you have a guy that has that capability, I think you have to try him at corner, especially when you can find a Parker Washington in whatever round or undrafted, whatever he was, and him be a real contributor for you. So I've always thought Hunter would be better suited at corner just because of scarcity at the position.
Yeah, I mean, and right before he got hurt too, I mean, he had a couple really big games at receiver. So,
right,
the fantasy player in me really hates to hear that, but I get it for real life. But it seems like it's still tough to swallow trading that much what they did for a corner. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
And they'll probably have, some plays for him or something, some packages for him. But one thing that does a lot of times it's impossible to learn anything from what a coach or GM says now because they're just lying about everything. But the fact that they were so insistent on keeping BTJ, even though he was terrible, seemed like it didn't mesh, didn't fit last year, whatever. The fact that they were so insistent on keeping him.
How many trade rumors you heard about him?
Right. And you
don't hear
they
that
were
much
constant
about a receiver of his caliber.
They were constant. Like, we're not trading him. And that makes me think they might be thinking about Hunter at corner. If they're like, no, we kind of like what we have in Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, BTJ. maybe run a few plays for Hunter and stick him at corner. I don't know. I like their receiving room better than I like their DBs, so it makes sense, but that's a fascinating conversation to me.
It is it's I mean, I do get it as a first world problem for the Jags because I think they're good either way.
Yeah.
If you can put Travis Hunter at corner and he's great, awesome. But if you need him at receiver, you got that in your back pocket too. So
yeah,
they're in a win-win situation, I think.
And then another one of the big losses, obviously, they let Travis Etienne walk. What does that do?
We'll talk about him with the Saints in a minute, but I think they like Bashal Tootin. I think they do at least.
And they bring in Chris Rodriguez,
who scored a lot of touchdowns last year.
He's a guy that can really play a role for you. But like last year, I want to say that when they were humming, I want to say it was like a 70-30 split between ETN, maybe 60-40 in some games, 70-30 in others, between ETN and Tootin. Like, do they think Tootin's a guy that can handle that, or do you think they draft somebody in the first 3 rounds?
I think Tootin, and I don't have it in front of me, but I feel like correct me if I'm wrong, he's a somewhat decent-sized fellow. Like, he could handle the workload, right? I feel like he's about 215. Is that right?
The thing people like most about him is his size and athletic profile, more so than like tape and other things. Like he was kind of one of the athletic freaks, I think. So maybe they think he can.
I still
and Chris
wouldn't
Rodriguez
be surprised if they draft somebody though.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
Like,
I wouldn't be shocked by that.
I like Bashal Tootin. I think they do. I just don't think if you want to be and maybe I might be dead wrong, but if you want to be a true, like, we got a chance to run this thing deep into the playoffs, I don't want to walk into the season with Bashal Tootin and Chris Rodriguez are my running backs, and both of those players could be really, really good this year. I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, I get that. So
they also get Trayvon Walker a big contract, by the way, too.
Yeah, big contract, but I'll be honest, like, you take a guy first overall, I don't want that to be a second contract. Like, I want his second contract to be number 1 defensive player ever paid because he turns out to be that guy. Trayvon hasn't really. He's been good, but they get him locked up. Good for him. Good for them. I'm really interested to see what this team does in a lot of positions. Wide receiver, DB, running back. Like, this is going to be a fun team to see if they can keep up what they built on last year.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick an early season favorite to that division, I would take Jacksonville to win it.
Yeah, I'd take Jacksonville.
I would take Jacksonville.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Do we go there?
It's time.
I don't want to.
Yeah, it's
the
time.
NFC South is upon us.
Yeah.
Hold your nose. And this is a division that has a team that I have sort of made my main team in the NFL for many years now. I don't know why, but it is the cross I've chosen to bear, we'll say.
Yeah.
So,
right.
We'll start in the NFC South. We'll go New Orleans Saints because they were last in the division. Weird. Really weird team. Really weird, I think. They seem to think that Tyler Shuck is their guy. I feel like there's a lot of hype out of New Orleans about him.
It's one of those where he played well. Like, he had really good moments. I think it's one of those where if this was next year and they had the 108 and all those quarterbacks are coming out, maybe they're drafting one of them. But with the quarterback class they have, why not? I mean, I think the guy played well enough to get some more run this year. We'll see what that turns into. But I just don't think we don't think this roster has the legs to really make a push for anything. At least I don't.
No. They've got some good players on the roster. Like you've got a Chris Olave who I think could sneakily be one of the best receivers in the league, honestly.
He had a little breakout last year, yeah.
Yeah, he really did. And they give Travis Etienne a lot of money.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
It doesn't make a ton of sense. I feel like paying a running back is what you do when you're like right there, I think. Or like the Chiefs, where it's like, man, we had nothing going for us on this front. Let's sign somebody to change that. Like, that makes sense. I just don't know if Travis Etienne gives you any more wins in the season. Maybe he does. He's a good player. He was good last year. I haven't seen the guarantees. I know it was 4 years, 52. I don't know what the guarantees were, but we'll see how that lines up for him.
I'm wondering if it could be a little bit like the Josh Jacobs deal that he got from the Packers, to where it's 4 years, really 1 year guaranteed, and then more like as we see fit, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know that for sure, but maybe that's what we're looking at.
That's possible. The thing with the Saints is we've had years, ever since Drew Brees was in like his last 2 years, where they started doing they started giving out the contracts where everybody was saying the cap is fake. You remember that whole thing? The cap is fake, because they would sign somebody and it's like, where are they finding all this money? Well, the answer is they kicked the can down the road, and the bill they've just constantly kicked the can down the road. And in the last 2 or 3 years, they've had crazy cap hits. They still have like $130 million cap hit this year. I mean, just insane. So all that dead money comes off the books next year. So maybe they're thinking one more reset year, maybe shucks the guy, maybe not. If not, we get a quarterback next year, fresh cap situation, and we'll go from there. But, I'll give them a chance in the division just because of what the division is. But, like, I don't have crazy high expectations for the New Orleans Saints.
No, I do not. I think they're the worst team in the worst division. Not the worst team in the NFL by any means. I'm not going to say that, but it's it's such a mediocre division, and you're not even close to the top of it. So,
yeah,
we'll see. Massive news is Taysom Hill will be departing from the team, so maybe Alvin Kamara can finally eat.
No, they paid a running back $52 million, Ben, so Kamara cannot finally eat.
We know Kamara's had some incredible fantasy years, but I own
he's
him
a legend
for most of those. And
legend.
And Taysom Hill was a nightmare thorn in my side every year, and I hated it. I don't know Taysom Hill as a person, okay? He might be a genuine delight, okay? He might be. I can't stand him.
You.
I cannot stand him.
Yeah.
Cannot stand this man.
Yeah.
That seems like a great way to end on the Saints. So let's pop over to my Atlanta Falcons.
Dude.
Who, look, last season didn't go the way we thought, right? But I was so excited when we hired Kevin Stefanski. I was like, dude, there's no way Stefanski doesn't go to, like, the Ravens or somebody like that. Or the Bills when they get rid of, what's his name, McDermott. No, we got him. We got the coach that I wanted in free agency. But the quarterback spot,
dude. So this is all we need to talk about with the Falcons.
This is the most depressing news.
Yeah.
Before we do that, I want to touch on Kyle Pitts real quick. Finally had a good year. We did franchise tag him. He's going to play on the franchise tag. He is showing up for voluntary workouts. He's going to play. And I think there's one other thing we need to talk about. We'll talk about James Pierce, too. Is not going to be in voluntary workouts. He was a massive addition to the defense, having 10 sacks as a rookie. The guy we traded 2 first-round picks for, and then he thinks it's cool to run your girlfriend down in a car and then fight 6 cops. So that's a big
I was going to... The only things I wanted to talk about was that and then Stefanski and Tua. So what is the deal there? Is he not going to be in the league? Like, is he in jail? What's the deal there?
No. He's not in jail, but he is in a legal battle, is what I last read. So
dang,
I think it's a situation where the Falcons don't know. Like we're literally waiting for the justice system to make its call, and then the legal make its call. So that is incredibly frustrating, especially given we traded 2 first-round picks to go back up and get him.
Oh yeah,
I hate that so much because we have not had a pass rush for years. I mean, over 10. Like Vic Beasley was the last good pass rusher we had. Seriously, when he had like 15 or something sacks, and then he fell off after that. So it has been forever without a pass rush. And then we have Jeff Ulbrich, who we kept as defensive coordinator, which I really, really like that move as well. I think Jeff's a really good defensive coordinator. And he schemed up some blitzes, and we got him, and we got Jalen Walker, who was also a steal from last year's draft. I love Jalen Walker. And I was actually optimistic. I'm like, dude, if the defense can do what it can do, the offense with Kevin Stefanski, they just need to be middle of the road. And then that happens with James Pierce. And then just the nail in the coffin to my offseason was Tua.
So the James Pierce stuff is that's just the worst thing that can happen. Obviously, the situation's the worst part of all of it, right? The girlfriend or whatever, his situation with the police, that's the worst part. But from the football side of it, like that's just the worst way
from a fan's
to lose a player.
That's horrible.
That's just the worst way to lose a player is legal trouble for someone you gave a lot of capital for. But that being said, so we'll see what happens there. The story, obviously, Stefanski is we like him, right? Like he's won 2 Coach of the Years in Cleveland, just awful mess of an organization, and he found a way to have success. So I like him a lot. I think he's got. I was super excited. I think he's got a lot to offer. This quarterback room is tough. It's real tough. If I'm a Falcons, I
really hope he's not walking into another Cleveland quarterback room. I hope that does not happen.
I would be begging Michael Penix to be healthy and win the job because Tua, we've seen it, man. I get it. They're in a dome, so at home he'll be fine.
Oh, I don't care
if they can protect him. Maybe he just doesn't have the skills, the physical tools to be an NFL quarterback. He just doesn't, and that's not saying he can't have a good game or 2 this year. He does not have the physical tools to be able to win football games, especially not in the cold, especially not in December, January, playoffs, on the road. He just doesn't have it. So this is, if he's your quarterback, to me, you're drawing dead. You just are. And the good thing about that division, I will say,
Michael Penix doesn't have any health issues in his past either.
Yeah, that's true. No. So that's the big thing. What does Penix look like? The only positive for Tua is you're talking about Falcons indoor, Saints indoor, Tampa is Tampa, and Carolina gets cold in the end of the year, but it's not that bad. So that's the only positive. But this team, you're not making. I just cannot see Tua Tagovailoa carrying you to the playoffs. I mean, the Dolphins are paying him what, 150, 160 to play somewhere else? Like that's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I feel like all the people in our, group chats and everybody talked about, like, they were all somewhat optimistic about it. They're like, dude, you're only paying Tua like $1.2 million. It's league minimum. Dude. So like you literally have nothing invested in him. And I'm like, yeah, I get that part of it. I understand we're paying him nothing. It doesn't matter to me because like as soon as I see that, like the money means nothing to me because I know he can't win. I know how limited he is. I know how, again, this isn't his terrible, but on the football field, how incapable he can be at this game that we know and love. Right. Like, it's just, if he's going out there on the field, I don't want to watch this team. I do not care. It's an unserious move bringing in Tua Tagovailoa as an organization. I don't care what we're paying him. The league minimum doesn't matter to me. We will not win with him.
it's one of those things where it's fine to bring him in on the league minimum if you play in a dome and he is 100% the backup, no chance he's starting, whatever. Dude, they're talking like Penix might not be ready, and it's going to be a competition.
That's what I'm saying.
And I hate that.
I would have rather had, I swear, I would have rather us just kept Kirk Cousins and start Kirk until Penix is ready. I would have 1,000% rather have done that. I hate this move. I hate it. With every fiber of my being, I hate this.
Right. And it's not that he can't have a good game against a bad team in September. That's possible. It's that there's no chance of sustained success with him. There's just no chance. And
yeah, like I know if Atlanta wins, I don't think we win 10 games if Tua starts. And I don't think he starts the whole season because Penix will be back. And please, Lord, let us make Penix the starter when he comes back. And I think that will be the case. But
I mean, if Penix doesn't win that job, if Penix doesn't win that job, I mean, that's it. It's over, right?
I think Penix will win that. Like I don't.
No, I think he should. I'm saying if he doesn't win that job, if it is a competition and they choose Tua, it's over.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing that just like stole my stomach when this move happened. Is like, I know there's no chance with Tua. I don't believe in Penix personally. Obviously, I believe in him way more than Tua, and maybe there's a chance we have some more growth from him. I don't know. I hope so. I really hope so. Desperately hope so. But if Penix doesn't work out, I know Tua's not going to work out. So, like, we're once again stuck in this middle of not having a quarterback. We're going to have to find some mid guy in free agency, and like I get what just happened with Sam Darnold. But that doesn't happen often, so
no.
I see another bleak 5 years of mid-level quarterback play at best with a coach that I really like in Kevin Stefanski. But if he can't, like, if the best quarterback he has for the next 5 years is Tua and Penix doesn't work out, like, this is horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as this. Penix has to come back and when he's healthy, win the job. It just has to happen, and if it doesn't,
and he has to be good.
I've got nothing to say.
He has to be good.
I've got nothing to say if that doesn't happen.
Moving on. I don't want to talk about it.
Anyways.
It's just sad. Can we at least say I take that back. I want a little bit of glimmer of hope is Bijan Robinson is going to be freaking awesome for fantasy with Kevin Stefanski. That's true. Awesome, man.
And again, in this division, if you were to get decent quarterback play, you could win the division. That's true. If you are to get decent, you can, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. All right. The Bucks. What an ending to the season for the Bucks, man. They were 5-1 last year to start.
And they won in Seattle. Like, yeah, they were rolling, dude.
They won in Seattle, like almost beat Philly when we still thought Philly was like invincible at that point in the season. Like everything was going right for them.
Yeah. And I truly, I don't know this, but this might have been my least favorite offseason of any team. I did not like what they did in the offseason. One, I thought it would have made a lot of sense, and I hate, saying someone should be fired. I thought it would have made sense to move on from Todd Bowles with the way the season ended.
I was shocked he kept his job.
They didn't do that.
In an offseason where so many there were 10 coaches that got fired.
Yeah.
In an offseason where lost their coaches.
And I'm not saying you would have gotten any of these guys, but Jesse Minter, John Harbaugh, Robert Saleh, Clint Kubiak, like these were the guys who would have been available. I don't know. So I didn't love that start. And then, they let Mike Evans go, which is, to me, that's more of a, I hate that for the organization as a whole. more than I do for the team. You know, he was a good receiver, but he's a replaceable receiver at this point. Now they didn't replace him, but they have a lot of guys. They got Godwin and Ibuka and McMillan and all that. So maybe they thought they could let him walk. But I just don't feel great about anything they brought in. I mean, Kenneth Gainwell, are we thrilled about that?
No, but you still got Bucky. Bucky's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine running back room. You know, you lose Rashawn White, you gain Kenneth Gainwell. Did you get a guy who's 5% better? Maybe. Like but that's what I'm talking about. Like, I just didn't love.
They didn't give out any big contracts either. Like, the biggest contract was Kenneth Gainwell for $14 million.
Yeah, I mean, they got Alexander alone, which I did like that move.
I just saw that. Like, he got 17. Yeah.
To me, you have Baker, who he might be the 12th best quarterback in the league, but he's the best quarterback in this division. And you got a chance in such a winnable division to kind of push the chips in a little bit, and you didn't. And I just, especially going out and getting a new coach or something, and it left me, I don't know. The way the season ended, like, when seasons end like that, coaches get fired. And I don't know. Underwhelmed is the perfect word for their offseason for me. And look, they battled a lot of injuries last year. Maybe they come back and they're just more healthy and that's all it takes. But I'm leaving this offseason feeling a little just nah.
Yeah, like I was gonna say I think they're still the favorite. I don't know if
they could be. Yeah, they very well could be.
Thinking about it, but I don't. But I guess where I should say this is I think they could be the favorite, but looking at the rest of the division, they should have had an offseason that like solidified themselves as the favorite, not like, yeah, we'll see if we can win it again. I don't want to see if I can win it again when your best competition is this Panthers team, which we'll talk about in just a second, which is on the rise, but not a dominant force.
Yeah, when I look at this division, I know all we just talked about with with Tua. I do think the Falcons got better when you include the coach. I think the Panthers got better. The Saints got better. I still don't think they're a threat, but I do think they got a little better. And then, but the Bucs, I'm just like, I think I think they may have just either stayed the same, and maybe health is the difference, and that's good enough. But I thought they were in a position where if they would have gone out and made a splash, we'd really be thinking about them as potentially like a contender to get to the NFC Championship. And I do not feel that way as we sit right now.
No, I think their ceiling is they win the division and lose the playoff game.
Yeah, probably.
Which is not an exciting ceiling as a fan or for an off season. Like, okay, we're gonna have the same season or worse that we just had.
Right.
Doesn't feel great.
No.
Anyway, Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
actually had a pretty busy off season.
Yeah, they did. And again, just kind of going back to
they are picking up Bryce Young's 5th-year option.
Yeah, I was gonna say going back to CJ a little bit. Like, they were quick. They were like, "Yeah, we're picking up his 5th-year option." Is that
Well, Bryce is kind of gone the opposite direction. Like, there has obviously been way more up and downs in Bryce's tenure thus far than CJ has.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen him get benched for Andy Dalton and all this kind of stuff, but he has been slowly but steadily on the rise, making improvements, getting better, to where this season he was actually a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end.
Yeah, I remember after the playoff game CJ had, that was a question we asked. We were like, who would you rather have next year? And it might be Bryce. Now, how much of that is Canales? Again,
I think there's a
if you've listened to this podcast,
Bryce.
Yeah, if you've listened to this podcast, I really like Canales.
I think he's a genius.
I think he won them about 3 games last year. I think there were 3 games that they should have got blasted in, and they won just because of him. And then they obviously they gave the Rams fits. They beat the Rams in the regular season, gave them fits in the playoffs, and but if someone was to come on here and say, I think the Carolina Panthers are the favorites this year, it'd be like, okay. I mean, they bring in Jalen Phillips. They paid a ton for him, but he's an upgrade. They bring in Devin Lloyd.
Devin Lloyd's
decent
a big
amount for him,
too.
but he's an upgrade. And then I just like what they did. I mean, you look at their who's
they made a
leaving.
couple splashes. Yeah, you can argue Devin Lloyd or Jalen Phillips how good are they individually compared to their contracts, but they are improvements to what was
They're
there.
improvements.
And this was a playoff
absolutely.
team. Yeah, and this is a playoff
Absolutely.
team, and they got better.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So we'll see, man.
So-
I mean, obviously it's not going to be the most entertaining division, I don't think.
It'll be fun for
But
fantasy. There's fantasy implications in this division.
Oh, definitely
That's all I can
that.
say.
For sure that. Always that. And I will be watching the Falcons every single week. Regardless of what is going on in my life, I will be watching the Falcons. But
I
just
might.
because of Bijan,
It depends. It depends on how I'm feeling. I might have to get you to give me text updates on the Falcons because if Tua's out there, I don't know if I can stomach watching that.
yeah.
Just knowing
I'll-
that's my team running out Tua Tagovailoa, I can't
Yeah, I'll
stand it. But
I'll give you the update now. He underthrew an out route and got picked off. That's the update. That's what happened.
that out route was in the air for about 7 seconds.
Yeah, and it got picked. But yeah. Well, the good news, Ben,
Anyway,
is next week we get to talk NFC and AFC North, which will be much more enjoyable.
I don't think there's any divisions I'm not excited about. I'm not excited to talk about from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rest of them have highlights. The AFC East has
There's at least one
half
stud
good, half
team
bad.
in each of them.
Yeah, it's half good, half bad in the AFC East. The rest, I'm excited about all of them, so should be good.
Yeah, that's exciting. That'll be it for this one. We will hop off here, catch you next week. If you enjoyed it, let us know. Leave us a comment. Tell us how stupid we are. Inform us if we forgot any massive league-shifting coaching changes like we did last week.
Right.
But yeah, that's about it. We will catch you guys in the next one.